You started laughing before it happened.
Bienvenidos a las mujeres y las perras de dúo sobrenatural Jerome y eso es Nick y hoy estamos hablando de los 10 peores finales de programas de televisión.
So is that what we're talking about in Spanish?
You want to hear it in English?
I'm not, yeah.
Welcome to Unearthly Duo, ladies and bitches. I'm Jerome and that's Nick, and today we are talking about the top 10 worst TV show endings.
You have way too much time on your hands.
I did that last night.
Have you been giggling about it ever since?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unearthly Duo. How you doing?
I'm all right.
How are your kids?
They're retarded.
All of them, or just me?
2 of them.
Which two? Is that like a little trivia we have to figure out?
What?
Is that like a little trivia we have to figure out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what do you want to talk about before we start talking about the worst TV shows or bad endings on TV shows?
What do I want to talk about?
Yeah, you got anything planned?
Yeah. Let's talk about the birds and bees.
All right. So when a mommy bird and a daddy bird, or
What?
when a bird and a bee love each other,
Wow.
they have sex.
No, I don't have anything to talk about. I assume you do all the work. No,
Wow.
I know you want to talk about mid-90s.
Oh, you want to talk about mid-90s? How'd you like it?
I loved it.
You didn't even go see the little shit.
Well, then why'd you ask me?
I don't know that you come up with some random story. Yeah, I went and saw mid-90s on Thursday night, and going from the theater experience, you'd think I had a terrible time, but it was a pretty goddamn good movie.
Just because someone brought in a dog.
Someone brought in a fucking dog to the theater.
That's amazing.
So like a little fucking it was like Hess's dog, like his small one, on their lap. They're both small, but the smallest of the small. And then
like anyone else knows what that Hess's dog looks like.
it's a wiener dog.
You're a wiener dog.
And so there's a wiener dog, and the trailers played, and at the end of one trailer I heard, I was like, well, that was a weird sound to have at the end of the trailer.
Did you think they hit it?
I didn't know what happened, and I was looking around, and no one else was, and I was like, okay, whatever. I guess we'll keep moving on. Then I see the Clint Eastwood trailer, and I was like, oh, it's real good. And then
Is that your Clint Eastwood voice?
yeah, you feel lucky, bitch.
Punk.
Oh, sorry. And then, so it keeps going and going and going. And then right when the movie's starting, it's like, it shows all the skateboards. This is A24 like it does in the trailer. And they go by and all of a sudden I hear, woof! And I was like, okay. That was in the theater. That wasn't that wasn't the screen that time. And I'm looking around, and this fucking lady down the same aisle is just holding a little dog. And I was like, and she's like, shh, 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 calm down.
Wow.
And I was like,
So did she sneaked it in, obviously.
Yeah, they had like a blanket and a big giant bag. It didn't bark on the way into the theater, I guess.
Ma'am, your food's barking.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And like the whole time, she was so obnoxious in the movie. Anytime, like I swear this is the first movie she's ever seen. Like that part, like you just saw in Seth Meyers, the kid falls down. She goes, oh my god, they killed the kid. They killed the main kid in the movie. And she just kept talking out loud to her husband. She's like, how well, we're watching a movie where the kid dies, and like was freaking out.
Oh my god.
And then, they go, spoilers, they go down there and he gets up.
Yeah,
And
Seth Meyers spoiled it too.
yeah, and she's like, oh, thank goodness. And she, like,
How old was she?
I couldn't tell. It was a little dark. Like,
She sounds like she's 70.
She was really fat. Her husband looked like it could be a brother. Could have been her brother, actually, if I think about it. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't see like a marriage certificate?
No, I didn't see it. No, I didn't investigate it too well. But and then at the end, the movie ends, and it's like a movie about these kids. Like, I don't know if she expected it like to end, and all of a sudden, like 20 years later, they're businessmen and shit. But it just kind of ends, and she's like, "Oh my god, we need a sequel. I don't know what's going on with these kids anymore."
Wow.
She just bugged me the whole time. But I kind of got over that. Watching the movie, it was just every now and then she was like, "Oh my goodness." These kids next to me, like, you know how at AMC it has almost the seats like in sections, like there's like a little bar across.
Yeah.
They're in the bar to the side, and they're talking the whole time. Like, it popped up the little, you know how they have like the fantasy movie league stuff they got there.
Yeah.
They had a trailer for that, and the kids like, that's stupid. Why would anybody play that? And then they were just kind of talking shit about the random stuff on the screen like that. They're trying to make each other laugh, and I was like, whatever. And I was going on my phone, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I hear the good kid go, "Shut the fuck up, bro, before I pull out my dick."
Wow.
And I looked over, And I was like, what the fuck? So that's when I texted you, and I forget what you told me. You told me to go complain or something.
No, that was about the dog.
Oh, yeah. You told me, yeah.
I told you to move if someone's pulling their dick out.
Yeah, I was far enough away that even if he pulled his dick out, I wouldn't get any respective juices on me or anything.
You never know.
But besides all that, I really love the movie.
It sounds like it's really good. I listened to him on the Bill Simmons podcast. It was like an hour long. And then I just saw him on Seth Meyers, which was a 2-parter.
Yeah.
So I know a little bit about it just from listening. I plan on seeing it, but I just couldn't go with you.
To me, it reminded me a little bit of like, kind of like Clerks, but for skaters. Like it's like, cause like,
Clerks.
that would be one name for it. But because you know how Clerks is like, it's about guys in a convenience store like work, but like it's not really about a convenience store.
Yeah.
It's like the same way like Jonah Hill described it as his favorite parts of his skate video were the parts where the people were just hanging out. So he wanted to make a reverse skate video where it's like friends hanging out and barely skating.
Oh.
Which it totally was. And I just really liked it. It reminded me a lot of like going out with friends, like just hanging out, like, and even like the way they talked or like the things they did. It was like you could tell he really did live that.
Right.
I think it was very well written and directed. I really like it. I hope, as you said out there, you're gonna have to watch it when the awards come out.
Yeah.
I hope it wins some awards because I think it's worth it.
Sounds like he really, really put a lot into it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he really loves it. So I plan on seeing it. I just couldn't right now.
Yeah. I was watching him. I forget what it was on. It was some interview, and he was talking about how he was writing it, and I think he was talking with I can't think of his name. Who's the guy that directed the Black Klansman?
Spike Lee.
Spike Lee. Yeah, he was talking with him. He's like him and some other people. Like he said, like they were both writing the same product. Spike Lee is probably writing Black Klansman,
Yeah.
and they would tell each other their story. Like every single day, they keep telling it. And that would cause them to write better, and like,
oh really?
And like they would like the person would tell each other like notes and stuff like that. But that's how they do it every morning. They would like retell the whole movie to the person.
Wow.
And Spike Lee told him, he's like, you know, because originally I guess it was about a guy older, and he kept having flashbacks to the mid-90s of that kid and all that. And he's like, you look so bored when you're talking about the other guy. Just write about that. And then he said he kind of like talked to him, and he's like, I guess he said like he was almost scared to make the movie about the kid skating, so he was making it something else and throwing those elements in there that he really loved. And Spike Lee made him kind of realize like, oh yeah, no, that's what you want to write your movie about. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. If anybody was like teetering on the fence to go see it, I'd definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing but good stuff has been said about it, so I can't imagine anyone teetering. Either you want to go see it, or you know what I mean. Or you just don't.
Yeah. For especially like just from the trailers, I was like, oh, this looks interesting, and it's written and directed by Jonah Hill. Like that really got me interested. And then after watching him in Maniac, like kind of got me back into kind of some Jonah Hill. Then I really wanted to go see it.
Jonah Hill is weird with me because like I've never gone to see a movie because Jonah Hill's in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always gone to see a movie and Jonah Hill's in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like, so he's not one of my favorite actors, but I do like him. But like just seeing the interview that we just watched before we came in here on Seth Meyers, like I want to go see this movie.
Yeah.
And it's not really because he directed it, it's because I hear how good it is.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
but I do like seeing him interviewed. I do like him. So I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. It's interesting too. Like in the movie, like almost no one in it was an actor before this. So in like watching the movie, you would have absolutely no idea. You would think these guys are like top professional actors.
Yeah, I heard him say that it's because he didn't want to teach actors how to skateboard.
Yeah.
So he wanted it to be real. So
And it's funny too, because like we keep talking about Seth Meyers, but Seth Meyers said like watching the movie, like the first time you see the kids, they're skating and like they're doing tricks in front of a shop, and you like, oh yeah, no, they you can tell these kids are skaters.
yeah.
And like just the way like they like just act and just bring themselves, like you can totally tell it, and like that probably helped them get into the character. And it's funny, they said too in this thing I watched where like on day one they were taking a lot of notes from Jonah Hill, and they said Jonah Hill would like give them facial expressions to show like different emotions and all that. And by like the last week of filming, they'd be like, no, let's pull it back. I do a different take. Like they knew all the lingo. They were like, no, I can do this better. I can go deeper more into character. So like in the beginning, they're like kind of nervous that they were doing exactly what Jonah Hill said, and by the end, they were like, no, let's try it this way now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Simmons was saying that he thought that the black kid in the group was going to be like a star.
Oh, I can totally see that. He was really good in the movie. He's the one that he was talking about. It's like the one that kind of cares.
Yeah.
Because there's him. He's the oldest, I believe. And then he's got a best friend. Like they're the two oldest. He's kind of cares his best friend's kind of getting into parties. And then there's a guy that films, and then there's like 2 young kids.
Yeah.
And it's cool too, 'cause like you don't get a lot of information about anybody except for the main kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like even his brother, the guy from Manchester by the Sea and Lady Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Like you even get a little bit, but like there's like teases of like he's like, oh, maybe his mom was like a real bad alcoholic and like bringing boys over a lot when he was younger, and that's why he beats up his brother. But like you get little hints of everything, but like not a lot, so it makes you really interested in like every character because you just get like little pieces of all of them.
Right.
I
guess the youngest kid was in something too.
Yeah, I think he was because he looked familiar to me from the trailer, and then
I can't remember.
Maybe I'll try looking it up. But because he looked very very familiar to me, and then I heard him say that they weren't actors, and I was like, oh, maybe he just looks familiar.
It's something. It's God damn it! It's on the tip of my tongue. I think it's something with Nicole Kidman, but I can't remember. Well, I do want to see it though. It looks good. I mean, it looks very very interesting too. Plus, everyone's saying how good it is. So
it's definitely an A24 movie too. Like you can tell, like, because they really let the people do what they want. I mean, they let Kevin Smith make a movie about a walrus,
right?
Like, because then the whole movie shot in 4:3 ratio. Like, he was even saying not a lot of people would want him to do that, and like they let him do that and all that. Let's see. Oh, this kid is actually in quite a bit of stuff. He's in 12 things. He's in the House with Clocks in the Wall, so that's probably why he looked familiar because I saw that trailer.
Oh yeah.
He's in the God of War video game. He plays the little boy in that. Oh, he's in Killing of the Sacred Deer.
That's what it was.
I watched it. That's a really fucking weird movie. There's a whole scene where a kid talks to his dad about masturbation, and it's just really weird. But that's a really good movie.
That was the
God might be involved.
That was the movie I was thinking of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Jonah Hill went up to him and said, "Hey, do you want to act?" He's I already act, and he's like,
"Oh, really?"
What have you been in? He goes, "Killing of a Sacred Deer," and then isn't Nicole Kidman in that?
Yeah, she's the mom in that.
And then he's like, yeah, with Nicole Kidman. And then he said who directed it. And then Jonah Hill then called the director and was like, hey, should I get this kid? And he's like, oh, yeah, the kid's a genius.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though. All right, well, now it's time for the segment on the show I like to call E.T. Saying Come. It didn't play at first, so I turned it up.
Thanks for that.
Here, this is what it's normally supposed to sound like.
That's still too loud.
You want to talk about shows that have bad endings?
As soon as I get my hearing back.
Can you hear me over there?
What?
Do you want to go first? Do we
No.
want to go back and forth, or should I read like the Facebook post first? How do you think we should do this?
Do the Facebook first.
So we put it on Facebook. We put it on Twitter too. These are all the responses we got on Twitter. All right, now I want to read the Facebook ones. It's funny too.
I responded on Twitter.
Oh, you did. Yeah. Okay. Nick said weeds. Yeah, we got on Facebook. We got Weeds, Lost, The Sopranos, Dexter, and Saved by the Bell.
Which you can't take the Saved by the Bell one.
We were talking before this, and you said Saved by the Bell. You didn't know how Saved by the Bell ended. It could still be on the air for all you
I
know.
honestly think if you put out a thing tomorrow, hey, what's your favorite TV show of all time? You put Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, I honestly think
it'd
that.
be an interesting test.
Yeah, someday.
But yeah, I agree with all those except for, well, I mean, I guess not Sopranos because I didn't watch a lot of that. But from what I've seen and heard, it would annoy me.
Yeah, I disagree. I disagree with Sopranos.
But Dexter, Weeds, Lost, I agree with those.
Yeah, a couple of those are on my list.
Yeah, me too. I took some of those off because they were on Facebook, but I couldn't take them all off. I'll go first, my very first one.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess what my number one, which I originally didn't have these in order, and then I looked at it and I was like, it's kind of in order. So mine's kind of in order from what I think, kind of just on my list.
Is it True Blood?
No, but that is on my list.
It's on my list.
Okay. No, it's not True Blood.
Okay.
What show have we done a podcast of?
Leftovers.
Yes, but no. And I didn't like it.
Oh, The Night of?
Yeah, that's my number one. The Night of. Bad show, bad ending. Great first episode. Fucking amazing first episode. But I didn't like the end. Because, like, they just don't answer shit. They like, what was the point? You don't know.
I guess I wouldn't have thought of that. Like say, like, Band of Brothers had a shitty ending. It doesn't, by the way.
Well, it does eventually because everyone's dead. So I guess I could put that on my list because all the soldiers are dead.
Take these headphones off and throw a rat at you if
I
talk shit about Band of Brothers.
I'm not talking shit. The
You just did.
The show's good, but everyone's dead in the end.
Everyone's dead in the end of every show.
That's not true. Not Doctor. Well, in Doctor Who, a lot of people.
Oh, no one's ever died in
No,
Doctor
a lot
Who?
of people died in Doctor
Okay.
Who.
It's been on for 600 years. Someone's dead.
So is your mom.
Yeah, she's old. I just hadn't think of it like a series. I was thinking of something that was like more than one season.
Oh, I mean, it's still a show. It's top 10 shows.
You know, I'm not saying it disqualifies it, you peckerhead, but I'm saying
You just wouldn't have thought of it?
I didn't think of it that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree.
I almost put Taboo on there because he became a pirate. No, Harmy made him. No, Harmy the pirate.
It's not cute for you. I kind of agree that was a bad ending. I don't know if it I don't think it was on long enough for it to break a top 5. But I do agree it was as good as that first episode was and how into it we were. We were like, this is awesome. And then
I also can't believe this has nothing to do with it being bad. But when we did our podcast on it, almost every podcast we did on it was almost 2 hours long.
that's because Hess was in person.
That's true. It is hard to do.
You can't just turn off his iPad when he's here.
Yeah, we can't. Oh, bad connection.
Yeah, right.
Now it looks like we do that on purpose. I got like a little switch over here, make the internet shitty. No, but that was the first show I thought of because I didn't like it like the whole time.
Yeah.
But I was hopeful that they'd be like, oh, I don't remember who it was. There was a guy named Taylor, I think, that we thought it was, and oh, maybe it was Nas and all that shit. But it was, who knows? Could have been fucking Santa Claus for all they say.
Wow.
I mean, you never know.
Okay.
You want to read one of yours, pal?
No, I'm gonna hear all yours first.
Really?
No, not really. So I feel like my list is pretty basic, but I think it's
Yeah, well, it's kind of basic, like you basic bitch.
but I'll go with Weeds number 1.
Weeds?
Mine's not in order.
Oh, okay.
Mine's our 5.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
Weeds because of the wonderful Wiz he was. I think it's the first 3 seasons are really, really good.
Yeah, and if they would have stayed in that town after it burned down, it would have probably been good too. But then they moved to Mexico and they stopped selling weed.
I thought you were doing like a poem there for a second.
I could have.
I doubt it.
And then like they stopped selling weed, which the show's called Weed, so it's weird. It'd be like in Breaking Bad if all of a sudden he became like, I don't know, working at a kindergarten shop.
Shop? They sell kindergartners there?
Yeah. But like it just got weird, and then they jump to the future. They make the kid like a sheriff / like porn director, heroin doer.
Jumping timelines is never a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one of those in mine that jumps timelines.
Yeah, we both do. Well,
But yeah, Weeds was fucking terrible. Stupid ending. You could totally tell they're just like, yeah, whatever. It's our last season. Let's just sit on the porch for fucking 10 minutes.
You know what's funny about that is that we still watched every single.
Well, because we
episode.
watched fucking 4 seasons, though. We're like, okay.
Remember
well,
when
we
they
gotta
brought
watch
back
the
in the
rest.
last season? I
Rest.
think it was the last season. They brought back some of the people from
season 1.
1 and 2.
Yeah, because like, hey, no, we might
and then
make it good.
and then it was like funny for like 2 episodes, and we're like, and then they were gone.
Yeah, we
no,
were
it's-
hopeful that it was gonna get good, and then they jumped 10 years, and she has a new son grown up, and they don't care about him, and then all of a sudden one son's doing porn, and it was just weird.
I remember getting home from work, and it was on at like 6, on a Monday night, the last season, which is weird, anyways.
It's on Mondays.
Yeah, it was on like Monday or Tuesday. It's something stupid like that. And then get home and I start doing whatever I need to do, and they're like, "Hey, Weeds is on." I was like, "Fuck." I mean, that's not good.
That's when it was the one like usually those 30-minute shows. It's like it's over, and you're like, oh fuck, I want more. But as those, it's like, oh my god, has this show been on for 2 hours?
I know, and then you're like,
It just dragged.
Why do we watch this every week?
Yeah, no, that finale is one of the worst. You wanna know my next one?
Sure.
I got True Blood. I watched it last night. The finale.
You did watch it last night. That's what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I gotta say, the first like 15 to 20 minutes, I was like, wow, I don't remember why we hated this. This is actually pretty interesting. Like, it's got Eric, and he let that one girl escape, the girl from Pitch Perfect. I don't remember her name. It was him and Pam. They let her go, and like it was like really interesting. And Pam goes and gets her, and she bites her and takes her blood. Eric starts killing all like the Japanese guys they were with. Kind of don't remember a lot of the storylines why those Japanese guys were there. It had something to do with they captured her because she was infected all the vampires.
It was, and it had to do with that fake blood they were manufacturing to feed the vampires.
Yeah, and so that's all interesting. And then all of a sudden, Bill shows up at Sookie's house, and he's all sick.
Did he go Sookie?
And everybody else seems kind of cured. I've got pubic hair in my mouth. It seemed kind of cured. So I was wondering, and like I don't remember why all of a sudden Bill Compton just wanted to die. Like, he wouldn't heal himself, and everybody else seemed fine. And all of a sudden, Sookie can start hearing his thoughts later on and all that shit. Like, he's just becoming human. And I actually didn't remember if they killed Bill Compton or not. Do you remember?
I don't remember anything about it.
He goes into a coffin at the end, and she stakes him, and he dies. Like, blood shoots everywhere, and Bill Compton dies.
Was it a mistake?
No, it was a purpose, because he helped her stab him. But then, you know how they sent Hoyt away and Jessica erased his memory?
Who?
The guy that was dating Jessica, it was Jason's best friend.
Oh, Hoyt.
Yeah. They sent him away, lost his memory. He comes back. I forgot he marries Jessica. So I don't know what the point was of sending him away.
Wasn't there a time jump in True Blood also?
Yeah. Before this episode, there was like a couple year time jump. Maybe 4 years. I'm not sure. There was a time jump, though. And then in this episode, there's like 77 time jumps.
It's pretty pathetic when a show about vampires time jumps. Because vampires don't age.
The only good part of the time jumps is most of it has to do with Erica and Pam, and it's pretty fucking funny. So at the end,
They should have just let Eric and Pam be in the whole last episode.
I'm pretty sure that girl I didn't like in it, that was Sookie's best friend's dead. I didn't see her like the whole episode, except for in a flashback played by a different girl.
Tara?
Yeah.
Oh.
So everyone has having...
Maybe she was doing Arrow.
Maybe. But so before everyone starts having his family dinner at the end, like it's the end of Supergirl or whatever, they have a flashback at the end, or not flashback, they have a flash forward at the end. It's like I think it says about a year later, and it's Eric and Pam, and they're doing like an infomercial for New Blood. Oh, and they're selling, it's in like an Arizona tea cans, but it has that girl's face on it, and like they're selling it to cure the rest of the vampires, and it's like a better version of True Blood. Which I was thinking, you should make a new show called New Blood, but just Eric, and they'd be fine.
I don't think Eric wants to do that anymore.
Yeah.
He's too busy being Tarzan.
He's too busy doing Big Little Lies season 2.
He's dead.
I was gonna say spoilers. He's dead. He'd just be a body laying around.
Every
scene he's in, he's just on the floor.
It'd be a prequel.
But they do that, and then what was really weird is, so they about a year later they do an infomercial, and then it's like 4 years later, it just shows them at like a stock market thing or whatever, and it just zooms in on them. No one says a word. Like it's like literally almost like they just took the things from the last set and put it on a different table, and they zoom in on them. No one says a word for like 30, 40 seconds, and then it cuts to 4 years later. Sookie's pregnant, married some dude you don't even see his face. Everybody comes back. Jason has 3 kids. They have a family dinner, and it's over. And I was like, I remember why, because like the first 20 minutes is like it was like normal True Blood. They're doing shit. It's interesting, and then they kill off one of the main characters, and then they jump time like 76 times. And there's a random wedding that they sent the guy away for. I was like, this is just dumb.
True Blood's interesting because we didn't start watching it when it first came out.
Yeah, we started watching it
like
three,
4 seasons.
Season
in.
4 of Entourage or something like that.
Yeah, because I don't even know why we started. I think
we were waiting for Entourage, and
I remember this.
we saw like the tail end of an episode. It was Bill going into Jessica. He's trying to go into Jessica's house, and he goes, "Hey, you have to invite me in," like to her sister or whatever. And you're like, why the fuck does he have to get invited? He's a vampire. Can't he just be like, poof, and get in there and shit?
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, because he's a vampire, he can't go into someone else's house unless you invite him in. And then you look at me like you're like, how the fuck do you know that? And I was like, oh, I was watching Buffy with Macy.
Yeah.
You made me get all embarrassed about it.
Well, you should be.
I knew stuff about vampires.
Yeah. That's what I'm.
But
that's my point.
We started watching it because of that, which is weird. That
I don't.
You make fun of me because of that, and then like we see that, and then I think we saw like every week a little bit after Entourage, and then we're like, oh, this is kind of interesting.
We didn't. I think that happened, but I don't think we started watching it because of that. I think we started watching it because people at work were telling me it was good and stuff, and we just started.
Oh, yeah, you worked with someone that read the books too, which
Yeah.
I was gonna look up if the books ended differently, and then I never did.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're over or not.
No idea.
What's next on your list, little Bronco?
True Blood.
Oh, why? You're like, why we watched it last night? You do the same exact thing I just did.
No, so I didn't rewatch anything. In fact, some of these I'm like, oh yeah, that did end bad, and but you forget.
Oh, you can forget those,
But-
but you
but-
can't forget when I like call you a little dick bag or something.
What? So, True Blood is a lot like Weeds.
I
It
can
was
see the
really
similarities.
good, really good in the beginning, and then towards the end it got pretty bad. Not as bad as Weeds. That would be remarkable.
I did leave out, since we're still talking about True Blood, when Bill is in the coffin, he's asking Sookie to kill him with her light. So she's like, does her thing, and then she starts crying, and she's like, which I didn't get this from the conversation until she started crying and said it. If she was going to kill him with light, it was going to get rid of her power. She couldn't read minds or anything, which she bitched about a lot of the early episodes of the show.
Yeah.
She's like, I can't, it's a part of me, I can't do it. So then she puts the light down, she puts a shovel on the thing, snaps the shovel in half, and then kills Bill.
I never liked Bill.
Oh, I did. We talked about him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I liked Bill.
Never liked him. Never trusted him. He was always kind of...
He was always fine. There was that one season where you're like, oh, is he gonna be? And then he wasn't. It was really cool though when he did. He put Eric in like some box thingy or whatever, and poured all that cement on him. That was that season finale. Remember, we were like, what the fuck? What's gonna happen? And then the next season, first episode, he breaks out.
Yeah, that was... What was it that they called him that one time when he became Super Bill or whatever he was?
Oh, I don't
I
remember.
don't remember that either. I totally called it, though.
Yeah, you did. I want to try to find that. Where would I even look up to find that?
I have no idea. It was whatever the bad person was in...
True Blood Super Bill. Bill Compton. Maybe I could find it. Like, is it? Do you think if I looked up Evil Bill? Oh, also known as Vampire Bill, King Bill, Mark Clark, Guglielmi, Billith. It was Billith.
It was Bella.
Because the girl was it Lilith? Something like that?
Something like that.
And you're like, what are they going to call him, Billith? And then they did, and we were dying laughing
Yeah.
for way too long.
Well, it was so stupid, and then it was true.
True Blood.
Shut up.
I did. There was a lot of True Blood I really liked. That was kind of the first show me and you got really into together.
Yeah.
But
And I think it was just because it was on in between other shows.
yeah. I remember there was a lot of times where like Mom was like, Weeds is on, and then we were like, yeah, but True Blood's on. We'll watch that later.
Yeah.
There was even some times where they'd be like, Weeds is on. Big Brother. Weeds must have been on a certain weird day.
They
Because it was
changed-
Weeds. It was Weeds, Big Brother, and True Blood and shit sometimes.
Well, no, yeah, they were all on Sundays, but at one point, towards the end of Weeds, I think they put it on a different
But
day.
when we were like, yeah, we'll watch Big Brother and Weeds later. Yeah, like watch
I
certain episode of True
I
Blood.
don't even think I watched Big Brother back then. I just finally gave up on Big Brother because it's on 600 times a week.
Oh. I kind of forgot you didn't watch it. Maybe that was when you started turning and watching it.
Like,
Because you were like, I want to watch 3 bad shows at the same time. Weeds, Big Brother, and True Blood.
I think the first season I watched Big Brother was with Hayden, but I might be making that up.
No, that seems about right.
Because I remember, hey, I like this guy, and then that Lane guy's pretty funny, and then they won. So
And
I
then
was
you
like,
like Meow Meow?
he was my least favorite of the group.
Oh, I liked Meow Meow.
You would.
Why?
That's because that's his name, and you wear cat shirts all the time.
There's not a cat on my person right now.
There was yesterday. Because I remember when we
Oh
went
yeah,
to the
there
gym.
was.
I
You
said-
know, every time I have a shirt that has it's a cat, it's a black shirt, and it says Satan is my homeboy. And when I wear that at the gym, everybody looks at me weird. I think they think I'm like a Satanist when I wear it.
Or they think you're weird because you wear cats on your shirts all the time.
They're like, look at this pussy. You want to know my next one?
Yeah, after that joke.
Wow. I'll fucking jerk you off under the table. Wilfred is my next one. I know you wouldn't know that,
Yeah.
but what do you know about Wilfred?
It's about a dog that talks.
Yeah, exactly. So you go the whole show.
I mean,
it's
yeah.
3 seasons up until the last one. Wilfred's alive. He's hanging out with Ryan, and they get into mischief. But then like every couple of episodes, something serious happens, and it gets into like, oh, is Wilfred real? Is he fake? What's going on? And the last season, I think it's the last season, could be at the end of the third one, going into the last one. But he dies, and he tricks Ryan into thinking that he is God. He's a god named Madamon. And the whole series, he is obsessed with Matt Damon movies, so he calls himself Madamon for Matt Damon.
Wow.
And Ryan falls for it and all that. But then basically it leads to his mom, when she was younger, was like into this cult thing, so he goes to the farm and he finds his dad, and his dad's Jigsaw. Not actually a Jigsaw killer, but the actor. And he sees like a picture on the wall, and it looks like Wilfred, but it's not. That guy died in prison and all that stuff. And then end of the show, Wilfred never existed. It's just a figment of his imagination.
Oh, the talking dog was?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But it's like it's a whole show about a talking dog, and it isn't like it's a great show. But I thought that was just stupid. I hate when they like it was. Come on.
Why did you start watching that show?
'Cause I really like, and I can't think of his name now, Elijah Wood. I really like him, and it just seems so weird that the guy hanging out talking dog, and it was on FX, and usually FX shows are good and weird, so I just give it a try.
I remember you didn't watch it, then you watched every single one,
Yeah, and then I made Taylor watch it all.
and then didn't you watch the Australian version?
It's behind you, yeah. I bought the Australian version.
I didn't ask
The
you.
Australian version is weird as fuck.
I didn't ask if it was behind me.
Same actor, though. Same guy plays Will from both.
Is Elijah Wood in both?
No.
Wouldn't he be the main character?
He does like Matt Damon movies in both as well.
Hmm.
But it's a really good show, but I just think that ending was
Does he even
stupid.
like downsize? Is it downsizing?
The show was over by the time that came out.
Oh, whatever.
But like, cause like there's a lot of like hints throughout the whole show that like there's something else, and like maybe he is a god or he's some kind of thing. Like it got into like some random weird shit like that, and then all of a sudden there'd be an episode where he gets like Ryan leaves him at like a daycare place for dogs, and like he's calling him saying it's like torture in jail. And it'd be weird shit like just like funny random stuff like that, and then all of a sudden be like, oh my god, is this guy a god? And then it was just nothing. Like he was just talking to his neighbor's dog the whole time.
It's kind of funny, actually.
It's funny, but it also is annoying. For like watching the whole thing, it's
Yeah.
like, oh come on, I wanted to pay up. It's like my next thing on my list that we'll get into after yours.
So your next one's Leftovers?
Well, okay, my next one is Leftovers.
Okay.
What's yours?
My next one is How I Met Your Mother.
I didn't watch all of How I Met Your Mother. I always watch it every now and then when you and Taylor would like make me watch certain things.
I did.
I watched
every
I watched
every
a lot.
episode.
Did I get a text message?
Yeah, that's what that beat
Oh.
means.
Bye. They called me in early.
Oh.
Mom's going to work.
Bye.
But I could. It's even then. The ending I thought was stupid.
Well, the thing is, what the stupid thing was is that they trick you into okay, so Barney's gonna marry Robin,
Mm-hmm.
and they have this wedding, and then they break up, and then they kill off the new mother, so that she
Yeah, it
can
was like-
marry Robin.
It was like a bait and switch that
Yeah.
didn't need to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was weird.
but the show as a whole was great.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a bad episode I watched up until that finale.
Yeah, no, it was actually pretty goddamn good for sitcoms.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got to be up there as one of the best sitcoms ever.
I'd say it's probably up there with like Friends and The Office. I would think.
Yeah, and I kind of think it's better than both.
I
It'd be
could see that. I still have like Friends will always be like a special thing.
It'd be interesting to watch like Friends and How I Met Your Mother like side by side, like season for season, and I'd be like,
yeah.
see which is funny.
And like How I Met Your Mother does get away with more things like being more relatable to making it more funny because it's newer.
yeah,
But Friends is still pretty damn funny for
I think
being older.
Like, what's your favorite part of Friends? Like your favorite gag, your favorite thing, your favorite whatever.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
That's not a good sign.
And what's funny is I can think of one off from How I Met Your Mother is the slap thing.
Slap bad.
Yeah. For Friends, I can think of an episode. Does that count? That like I always think of as like, and I
not
think
in
I
my
always
book,
find
but
funny.
you can
Is
list
when
it.
they move apartments and like they play like that game
Yeah, that's a good one.
and like they move them
And
back
the-
and forth and all
And
that.
the Thanksgiving ones were good.
Yeah, I love the Thanksgiving episode. See, to me, it's more. There's not like big running jokes in Friends that I like because I don't think there is that much. At least I can think of.
There
It's-
but
It's
yeah.
more like episodes that I'm like, oh, that one's great no matter what.
Yeah, and
But like but like in How I Met Your Mother, there is the slap bet. There's every time they found a new Robin song.
Yeah.
Robin Sparkles. So like,
there's Barney.
yeah, he even has his own weird running jokes that go intertwined in things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely up there.
I mean, and not to take anything away from Friends, because I like Friends a lot too.
Mm-hmm. I think, although Friends did have a good ending, I thought.
Better than How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Yeah.
So I think that gives it a little plus for me.
Yeah, maybe.
But also, like, I feel like for a sitcom, the ending doesn't really matter, because like when you're rewatching it, unless you're Taylor, you don't rewatch the entire series. You just watch like, oh, I'll watch this episode.
Well, it doesn't matter unless you start off by, this is a story about how I met your mother.
It's true.
It's not like this is a story about friends.
This is a story about how I met my friends.
Yeah.
No, yeah. How I Met Your Mother. That ending was bad, and I felt it's weird because like they filmed the kids and all that right off the bat, and like they made it feel like they had the answer. But then when you watch the end, you're like, did you have the answer?
You're like-
Especially when you put out. I don't even remember what it was, but they put out that alternate version
I think
where I think it might have just ended up that Robin was the mom. I don't remember. But do you remember that they aired like an alternate version that one time?
I remember it, but I don't remember what it was. To me, it feels like they had an ending, and then they fucked it up with like Barney and Robin, and they kept going, and that's when
They did that too long.
and that's when they thought maybe like the actors were like not gonna keep doing the shows. They were never gonna get to the end, but then they just paid the actors, so then they're
Mhm.
like, oh fuck, now we have to do an ending, and that's what happened.
I could see that. Yeah, because it did seem like they had an idea. Then they were like, "Oh fuck, we have to change it." Oh, never. Let's just go back to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But that would be my next one.
My next one, I feel like this is on your list too. Although I finished it, so it really shouldn't be on your list because you didn't finish it. Lost.
It is not on my list.
This
but
was
I
on
did,
the Facebook post.
I actually put it on here.
And then deleted it.
No, it'd be like my sixth one
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like we should talk about it.
Oh, okay.
I did not watch Lost. It got too stupid and too weird and too dumb, and I just
See, I do feel like though if Lost was on today and it was like that, I feel like people would be more accepting of that because like there's shows like Flash and Leftovers and there's more weird shit like that where you can kind of like, oh, they're flash forwarding and it's weird, but like you know what I mean? I feel like it might be more accepted now, but back then it was like, what the fuck is going on?
see. And I mean, I watch as much shit like you that has stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had anything. I don't care about a flashback or a flash forward. I don't care
Mhm.
about that. It was more that like I was into the fourth season and I still didn't know what happened from the first day. Some shit.
Well, yeah, I wasn't specifically talking about you. That's what most people I feel like
Oh,
complain
okay.
about is the flash. Like that's what confused them. Like I don't think a lot of people. They didn't answer shit, but I think people were expecting maybe that would come later. But that's the thing people complain about the most, and I feel like it's because there wasn't a humongous like Game of Thrones size mainstream show that did weird shit like that back then as
Yeah,
much.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
Like there was like Doctor Who and Star Trek and random shit like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that if it came out like now, people would be more on board with that stuff. I feel like.
Yeah, maybe.
But but that being said, I still think the ending was fucking stupid. They're a purgatory, but they didn't die. All the plane crashes, separate things, and it just.
But they didn't, and they denied it the whole time.
Yeah, see that to me is that ending is just like How I Met Your Mother's ending, where it's like if you're making a show like Lost, I feel like even though you could defer from it randomly into the season, but you have to know your ending when you start. And I feel like that's kind of like a J.J. Abrams thing, where like he starts something good, and then other people took it and they didn't want to do his ending. Kind of like Star Wars: The Force Awakens. He started
Right.
something good. Oh, who's Rey's parents? What the fuck's up with Kylo Ren? Who's Snoke? And then someone else comes in and is like,
none of that matters.
yeah, no, I don't really care about any of that. Polar bears, who gives a fuck? Like, I feel like that's a little bit what it was, and then it just got stupid. Because he was probably part of people like, no, it's not. No, it's more to that. And then, no.
No, maybe he should finish what he starts.
Well, now he's doing the next Star Wars.
Was he gonna bring back Snoke?
There's rumors. I
Bring-
read yesterday there's a rumor which I feel like there's something like this every day about fucking Anakin being in Star Wars. But there's a rumor there's going to be a scene of Kylo Ren meeting Darth Vader in the next Star Wars.
That'd be interesting.
I don't know how that. I'm so not excited for it. Maybe a smidge because J.J. Abrams is, and I know I probably will be when like a trailer comes out.
Yeah.
But I could so care less about the next Star Wars now
Yeah.
because of the last one.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And it's not even most people I feel like are like that because the ending and like Luke and all that. I felt that way from the second fucking what's her face got blown out of the ship, Princess Leia, and like most of the movie I thought was just so boring.
When she Mary Poppins back into it.
Yeah, the best
no,
part of that movie is the lightsaber duel in Snook's little like place with Rey and Kylo
Did
Ren.
you just call him Snook?
I might have. That's his rapper name. He's Snook Dogg.
Yeah, I didn't like the movie. And then they killed off Luke. So
Yeah,
it was like I
he's
didn't
in
like
the next
it.
one though.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And then they killed him off. So
But back to Lost. And then it was stupid.
how did it end?
They're in a church. Jack dies because there's
Well,
this.
aren't they
I
already
can't
dead?
get into the whole story because it's very confusing and I barely remember it. Watched it when I was like 12, and they're trying to. There's like the darkness of the island and light, and because remember, did you ever get to the point where there was that guy Jacob that was like the protector of the island? I might even be getting his name wrong, but like the protector guy that's been there like the whole time he was born there, and
Wasn't he?
his brother was the smoke monster, who then became Locke.
His brother was Stannis.
Yeah,
Jacob. I remember Jacob. Wasn't he banging Ben's daughter?
I don't remember.
Did I make that up?
No, someone was banging Ben's daughter, but I don't know if it was Jacob. I can't remember.
Ben's daughter's in Goliath.
I've seen her in a couple other things. But basically, they're trying to fight the light and the darkness of the island, and there's a new protector, and people are fighting. Jack dies. He goes into a church, and he sees everybody from the entire series in the church. And then he talks to his dad. You remember his casket's always there, and he keeps seeing his dad. Talks to his dad there, and basically it's like, oh yeah, no, we're in purgatory. Welcome to purgatory.
I think that's what I guess would happen in episode 1.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, that's not it. And then that was it.
Yeah,
So, fuck them.
Like, there's a lot of people that like really defend the ending and say it's not that and different things, but that's the one thing that I hate about it the most is like watching the ending. It's so confusing. You do have to look shit up about it, and then you're just listening to other people's opinions on what they watched.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's like, it's just bad ending. They should just left him on the island.
Like Gilligan.
When I was how would you describe Lost if you were gonna tell someone about it? Like just describe what the series is.
It's about a plane that crashes on an island and they don't know where they're at, and then polar bears and a smoke monster comes.
Yeah, that's better. I was watching a top 10 list of bad shows just to refresh my memory on this stuff, and someone put up Lost on there, and it was like this girl, and she's talking, she's like, for those who don't know what Lost is about a group of friends that hang out on an island. All right, so now, and like, just started talking about other shit, and I was like,
a group of friends?
and
they
I was like,
try to kill each other.
that is not how I would describe the fucking show.
That's Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, they choose thinking of the wrong show.
Man.
How'd that end? They escape?
Well, there was Return to Gilligan's Island. They all got, when they get rescued.
Oh, that's where they got the idea from Lost, and Jack's like, we have to go back.
Probably, because they all get bored, and then they go back on, and I think, like, one of them died.
Oh, yeah, see,
yeah.
Jack's doing it because that's, like, their alternate timeline.
Hmm.
What's your next one?
Dexter.
Oh, yeah, he banged his sister, and she died, and then he rides off into a hurricane and becomes a lumberjack.
He banged his sister.
Well, I don't know if he actually banged, but remember they were getting weird, like, she had feelings for him and shit? She was, like, and then she, like, kind of hated herself because she loved him and all that.
Yeah, but I don't think they wanted to.
No, they actually didn't bang.
Oh.
But they were weird. It was very, like, I don't like this. Even though they weren't, like, blood, it was like, don't do that.
No, I don't remember that at all.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember him chopping wood.
Did he actually chop wood?
No, they just
Did he just, like,
him
he opens his eyes at the end, right? And he's, like, on, like, a little cabin with a beard?
See, I picture him walking in a forest, but maybe I made that up.
I'm pretty sure he's just, like, sitting there in, like, some random stage office, and he's just looking into the camera.
I thought they show him, like, walking, like he's in Flagstaff cutting down trees or something.
I tried looking up a little trivia for a lot of these, like, to see if people, like, said something about the ending on IMDb, and most of them are terrible. But then one of, like, it's, like, so interesting. It just happens to be the hurricane's name that he drives into in the end is the same name as his mother. I was like, that's not interesting. They just wrote it that way. They're like, oh, yeah, we're just going to write the hurricane as his mom's name.
Well, it's a good thing it wasn't Superman and Batman going in that hurricane.
Yeah, because then you would have tried to fight the hurricane, and then he'd be like, no, you get the same name as my mom.
I can't go into you because you got the same name as my mom. I'll never be a lumberjack. What am I going to do?
That was just so stupid.
The whole season
and then
sucked.
his son goes off with that other chick, and they're in, I don't know, Italy
He
or something
ditched
at the
them.
end. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
saying, I'll meet you at the airport or whatever.
He ditched his fellow.
And he just drives off into a hurricane, and we're like, oh, he died. Okay. Oh, no, he's a lumberjack.
All he does is try to. What was his son's name?
Harrison, I think?
I think you're right.
Harrison Wells?
No. It's the whole series. All he does is try to protect that kid.
And then the last thing he does is he go,
all right, I'm going to
fuck you, Harrison. I'm going into a hurricane.
I'm going to go cut some wood after. Do you think the hurricane blew him to, like, a forest?
Maybe. And he landed, he was like, well, the only thing I can do here is cut trees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. That whole last season was just... Wasn't there a time jump in that as well?
Do you count the hurricane to Lumberjack?
I guess. But I feel like there was in that season, but I can't remember.
I don't remember. I know one thing. If you go back and watch season, I think it's 4.
with the Trinity Killer.
That's one of the best seasons of TV. Of
Yeah,
any
that
show.
one's amazing. Then you're like, okay, well, this show is great.
I still remember when we were watching it, and Trinity walks into the police department and goes, "Dexter Morgan," and like I was like, oh, I had chills. It was like so
Yeah.
creepy.
That guy was one of the best villains. Like
I
I still see him in things and think, oh, it's the Trinity Killer.
Yeah,
From that.
he's in a ton of shit. I just totally spaced his name. I hate him when he does comedy because he just drives me crazy.
Yeah, I've seen him in some things where he tries to be funny and it just
Like
comes off super cheesy.
I could not watch Third Rock from the Sun; it just drive me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's serious, he's a super good actor.
I really like him.
Yeah,
Do you want to know my last one?
not really.
Can you guess what it is?
No, because I don't remember what you said.
It's Leftovers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Leftovers, one of my favorite shows of all time. That and Westworld, top 2 shows.
Wow, you don't really have much taste, do you?
I got very good taste, especially if it has Justin Theroux in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's in a bad Star Wars movie. That show was so good. And the last season, we were so into it. They were teasing him. Oh my God, is he Jesus?
we did
Oh my God.
we did get into it, and it got super weird.
It got super weird and super good in the last episode. We're like, all right, this better fucking pay off. And then it didn't. And then
No.
it was just nothing.
Yeah, and did they ever tell us why the people disappeared? They didn't, right?
No, they just did. Remember, she went to the other world where they all disappeared. Nora did.
Yeah.
And she talked about it.
Nora went
and our big question, I think we even named that video, is was she lying? And to this day, we never really got the answer to us. Everyone's like, oh, well, he believes her. But, like...
Yeah, I mean, we did get into it. We did a little after show after each show, and really got into it, and people, like, responded to our show.
Yeah, some guy commented a theory that everybody that disappeared turned into dogs.
And that's why they're going after. That's why he's talking.
Like he's
to the
attacking
dog.
the dogs and all that shit. And, like...
then you got blamed for it because they thought you were serious.
Yeah, I just mentioned the comment on one of our videos, and somebody was like, you fucking idiot, you think everybody's a dog? And I was like, no, I was reading the guy's theory. I thought it was interesting. I didn't think it was going to happen.
And I was like, he is a fucking idiot. He thinks everyone's a dog.
But it was it's still, even though that has a bad ending, I love the show.
Love's a strong word.
Love is a battlefield.
No, I said strong word.
We are young. That's one of my favorite, but it does have like such a stupid fucking ending.
Was there 3 seasons?
Yeah,
How do you fuck up 3 seasons?
they done. They did really good 1, really good 2, really good 3, except for the last episode. Remember that episode when he goes into the afterlife thing, and there's him with the beard, him not with the beard, and he's talking to himself, and I think they were Patty's there and all that. What was that about? If it's nothing, he's just losing his. What about when he went to heaven in the hotel? What was that about? If it's nothing. That's the part that annoys me, is that it being nothing kind of fucks up everything else they were setting up in the show the entire time.
Correct.
But I still like it, so I just kind of forget the last episode ever happened. In my mind, he is God.
Man, and they go to Australia and they find that other girl.
I forgot they went to Australia, yeah. I still really like the show.
Remember when the dad that they moved next door to was killing the people that were like, and they weren't even tricking people. He was really like seeing the future, and then like he kills them, and they were drinking the water, and it was just like, yeah, it's just. The more I think about it, the less I like it.
Wow, what a dick. I love it, but that ending was just terrible.
And I blame you. I could have just not known anything about it.
Then you quit.
I quit season 2 because it was dumb.
It was
like,
not dumb. Oh, it was so good.
It's like
It was
so stupid. I can't take this anymore. And you're like, no, you gotta watch it, and then we can do videos on it.
Yeah.
And then I did, and then we did, and at the end I was like, you motherfucker.
Do you want to read your last one?
No, I want to call you a motherfucker.
Okay.
My last one is 2.5 Men.
Oh, that surprises me.
Well, you know what? I didn't.
Did you actually even see the ending?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I watched. Like I wasn't watching the show anymore, but I watched the last one.
Yeah, 'cause I've seen the ending. Yeah, it's stupid as fuck. That whole last episode.
And that's one where when Charlie was on it, it was funny as hell.
Yeah, and then
And we used
he
to
lost his fucking mind.
Yeah, we used to watch it every week. It was funny as hell. He lost his mind, got in the battle with Chuck Lorre, and then Ashton Kutcher took over, and it was still funny.
And it was still not as funny, but I was like, okay, this is entertaining. And then it was especially funny because I can't think of his name, but the half man.
The Half Man.
The Half Man and 2.5 Men.
Okay.
It was funny because of him with
Yeah.
like in the show.
He was funny, and then Alan lost his mind on the show. Like,
Yeah.
he just got pathetic. And then it's just...
And then but then the kid went to the army and he lost his mind in real life
yeah.
and didn't want to be on the show. And then like they were every once in a while they'd Skype him in and it was just weird.
Yeah, it was very weird, and it got... I still watched for a little bit, and then it just wasn't fun anymore. But then... Wasn't it... We're bringing Charlie back.
The whole big thing is Charlie going to be back? Oh my
Yeah.
god, blah, blah, blah. They was doing like little trailers and he was back, but not Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
They drop a piano on him and then they cut back and they drop a piano on the grader.
After he says winning.
Yeah, it was just so stupid.
Yeah, it was really dumb.
Like I felt I don't know. It doesn't even like to me like if it was my show that I created it, like I get it's a funny joke. I killed Charlie Sheen, but like it's not an ending to the thing you created. It's just a stupid joke for the end.
Yeah, and it felt like thought he was getting back against him,
Yeah,
and
but Charlie Sheen probably hasn't even watched that.
No.
Like why would he?
He's probably doing cocaine off a hooker at that point.
Yeah, injecting tiger blood into his penis.
Which maybe he should have chucked that needle.
Why?
Remember, he got AIDS.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is it
Yeah.
from the tiger blood? You think
Maybe.
tigers have AIDS? Tades?
Fucking stupid.
I think that's all the list. Do you want to go into Pleeka? Help us! Help us! Help us! Help us! Help
Oh, we're not
us,
done?
help
Okay.
us, help us. Well, we would have been done. This is gonna be the longest fucking Unearthly duo on the planet if the GoPro doesn't turn off.
Well, why don't you check the time one more time?
56 minutes.
Guess we're not talking about Titans, huh?
Oh, I wasn't planning on it. Were you?
Wow, you told me to watch it.
I just wanted you to see the episode.
Oh.
This first one is called "How Do I Tell 11-Year-Old Female That I'm Not Her Boyfriend?" Probably just tell her my
It's
boyfriend.
good. Hey, I'm not your boyfriend.
It's worth noting that I'm more than twice her age, and I'm as confused as you are probably disgusted at this point. That was a good reaction as I was reading it. I
I doubt it.
gotta admit that was like perfect timing.
I really
Due
doubt
to
it.
family circumstances, I am occasionally spending time with a seemingly normal 11-year-old girl. If you have to write seemingly normal 11-year-old girl, like she looks normal, but then you talk to her and she's like,
Can she move things with her mind?
maybe, or like she's got like a snake tongue and she's like,
I was just thinking 11.
oh. A very distant relative of mine, her and her mother are staying in the house temporarily. Girl obviously developed a crush on me. Okay, dick. He thinks very highly of himself.
So,
She obviously thinks I'm hot.
So say he's 22, because that would be... If
That'd
you
be-
sing 22, I'll fucking punch you. To think, an 11-year-old has a crush on me.
Yeah, it's weird that he would even like mention that fact.
Or put it on Reddit.
Just wait. I quit reading halfway through, but it gets weird.
Jesus.
She obviously just developed a crush on me, keeps staring at me, seeks any excuse to hug me, etc. I don't like that, etc. No big deal. I thought it was cute at first. So there we go. It got weird a few nights ago. We were sitting on the couch, and we were watching cartoons. I'm messing with my phone, and out of nowhere, she sits on my lap, missionary style. I don't like that he's talking about an 11-year-old girl climbing into his lap, and instead of just saying she sat on my lap, he has to describe it as missionary style.
Yeah.
She sits in my lap missionary style. I don't know what else to call it. He put that in quotes. Facing me. Puts her arms around my neck and kisses me on my cheek. Katie, what are you doing? And then she responds with, playing a game. She managed to plant 2 more quick kisses on my cheek. If I, say even I, climbed on your lap and kissed you on the cheek, how quickly would you get me off me? Do you think I could plant 2 more kisses on you?
I don't think you can plant the first one.
Exactly. So, like, I feel like this guy kind of wants it. And that's creepy.
Yeah. Keep going.
She managed to plant 2 more quick kisses on my cheek, getting uncomfortably close to my mouth. Before I lifted her off me, she getting close to her mouth before I lifted her off me. She wouldn't let go of my neck at first, but eventually I managed to sit her down next to me. I asked her if she plays these games a lot. She vaguely described that she occasionally does with her best friend, who is a girl the same age. I honestly played Oh, I honestly never played these games with my friends, but I heard girls can be much closer. I tell her that we should probably do something else, implying that there is more
Oh, yeah.
appropriate games we can play. Monopoly? I must have come out wrong because without without missing a beat, she says, "What would you like to do? Kiss me, or can I kiss you again?" This is where I stopped reading it, so I don't know where this goes.
Ugh.
The audacity and phrasing of the question stunned me. I have never painted into I've never been painted into the corner with two false alternatives by a child. I chose third, somewhat between sad, disappointed, and embarrassed. I don't know what the third would be. I can't decide what I should do. Well, first would be stop hanging out with the 11-year-old girl, I'd say. So then he gives out some options that he should do, but
Yeah.
I think he needs to have a talk with the little girl and be like, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna because I think clearly he likes it.
I think clearly he likes it also.
I feel like this is kind of like a little brag on the internet that he has a 11-year-old girl
girlfriend.
kissing him. It's fucking disgusting.
To let an 11-year-old girl, when you're 22, kiss you 3 times while she's sitting on your lap.
Well, it could even be older than that because he says he's more than twice her age. So he could be even older than that.
It's already creepy at 22.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Gonna move on to the next one?
How am I supposed to advise that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just started reading it last night and
You're
I was
like,
like,
oh, I'm
what?
just going to read this to him and creep him
I
out.
was like, what the fuck? Like, well, first off, say that was happening to you. It wouldn't, but say it did.
I would have punched
My
the little girl
first
in the
thought wouldn't
face.
be, oh, I'm going to go tell the internet that I'm kind of being a pedophile. Not kind of, I am being a pedophile.
That would be, like, the scary thing is that it's like, what if someone walks in the room when she's sitting on your lap and she kisses you? You're like, no, it's not what it seems. You're like holding her up like a fucking doll.
Yeah,
But you let it happen already.
yeah.
Yeah, that's-
He's letting it happen. That's fucking weird. This next one, this is the joke one that I had. It's specifically for you. It's called the Monster Diet.
Wait, what?
It's called the Monster Diet.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
A morbidly obese woman in my office has started a diet. She has been here less than a year. I kind of know her, but not really. Instead of eating breakfast and lunch, she drinks Monster energy drinks all day to lose weight. Do I say anything?
No, leave her the fuck alone. What the fuck? What does he care if she's drinking Monster?
I was waiting for her to be like, yeah, all she does is drink orange Monster and eat Tic Tacs.
I haven't had any Tic Tacs today, so fuck off.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, wow, you're not the only one that's just obsessed with Monster.
I've only had 2.
In the
This is
last
my
10 minutes?
This is my second one of the day.
This is the last one we got because someone else deleted it. Can you guys stop? Are you catching on that I'm saving these and deleting them?
Can you take a screenshot or something, fucker?
I could, but I didn't think about it. I just save them on Reddit.
You'd think, like, after the second one,
Well, maybe if someone deletes it next week, then the following week I'll
you're like, oh, I got an
now
idea.
screenshot.
Okay.
This one's kind of a throwback to a couple weeks ago. Horrible neighbors need help, want revenge for upsetting my mom. I have these really terrible neighbors. Since the day we moved in, they have been harassing. We've been harassed by this guy and his wife. My mom has epilepsy and I have PTSD.
Oh my God.
Not a good combo.
No wonder they're
if they
harassing you.
continue to stress her out, she can have a seizure that can kill her. They have pounded on the door and for small things. Dog poop that's fresh. We have a seizure alert dog. Wow, they sound like a fun group to hang out with.
They have a what?
Seizure alert dog.
Oh, because of the... Okay.
Yeah. Unpacking after the trip, trying to be quiet. We can't do anything normal unless we want them coming over and banging on our door. We live in a house next to theirs and they've done nothing but cause us grief. This morning, someone parked their car in front of their house and they had the gall to come over to my house, bang on my door and yell at my mother for this random car, threatening her, cursing at her, the whole works. I want him gone. That was all capital.
Mm.
So any ideas how to get him to stop coming over?
Yeah, stop being
I'm
a
open
dipshit.
to anything except murder. No murder.
Oh, murder's out of the question?
Yeah, murder's out of the question. We've already called the police and...
And said what? We annoy the fuck out of our neighbors? So
Well, they called the police and on the neighbors, and the neighbors called the police on them because their dog was squeaking on a squeaker toy too loud.
Wow.
And they just want to know, how would you get rid of those nasty neighbors?
I would fucking do whatever it took. Like, if they come over and I would yell back at them and curse them. And then, or, you know what they should do?
What?
As soon as they, like, ring the bell, like, ding dong, and then you open the door, and then you just make your mom have a fit right in front of them.
Oh, like flash some lights real quick or whatever. And
Yeah,
like,
and then she's just like that, and then they fucking run away because they're
it
scared.
might scare them away.
Yeah,
It's kind of fucked up to your mom, but that might work.
I mean that's just.
I would just start opening the door naked, and then they'd be like, "We don't want to go over there. They're kind of weird now." Like they make loud noises, but if you open the
gives a whole new meaning to ding dong, if you know what I'm saying.
ding, they ding dong. They open the door, you're naked, and you just start screaming on the top of your lungs. I don't think they'll come back.
Well, ask them for a hug.
Yeah,
That'd probably work.
or just be like our neighbor frog. We don't.
I mean, don't you think that they're the problem?
I don't know. I feel like they're not telling the whole story.
Yeah,
Because we're perfect.
we're fine.
I
I have a little PTSD, and she's got a little seizure thing, and our dog shits a lot
in their yard
In their
all the
yard.
time.
Yeah, why is their dog in their yard?
Yeah, I feel like again they have their problems, and the neighbor should respect that. But I feel like they're not saying the whole story.
I mean, now
It could be just a dick
Yeah.
neighbor, but I feel like that's not the case.
if a dog's chewing a squeaky toy,
Mhm.
and you can hear it in another house,
According to the girl, you can't hear it unless you're right up to the door.
I mean maybe, but maybe they're up to the door to tell them to stop having their dog shit on their yard,
Yeah, maybe.
and they're like, "Oh, that fucking squeaky toy," and that just set them off.
It could be that. Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. But yeah, that's it for Pleeka Help Us this week, and that's also it for Unearthly Duo this week.
Good, because I have to pee.
You want to pee right now on the podcast?
No, not really.
None of us.
I mean, it's your room.
neither one of us has ever peed ourselves during a podcast before. Do you think that day will come?
Do you really want me to pee in your room?
No, especially like next to all my shit over there. That'd be real gross. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Shit over here.
No, please like, subscribe, comment down below anything you want to comment.
I want Jerome's retarded.
You go follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Watch other videos, and we'll see you guys next week for more Unearthly Duo. You feel lucky, bitch?